Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on our comic book creator interviews, including our monthly Chichester chats with comic book legend DG Chichester, superhero movie brackets in our search for the worst comic book movie of all time, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
I'm here for Peter.
Well, there's Peter, there's Ben, no little hellfire. All right, kids, that's right. It's the end of the month. You know what that means. Welcome back to another Ultimate Spider Cast. I am Phil, and of course, the Australians are here. You have the Signal of Doom's Dave. Hello, Dave.
Yeah, I'm here, man. I'm here. Don't confuse me with the other great god of the game. Yeah, I'm here and I'm live, and I'm thrilled to be talking about two of the most run-of-the-mill Spider-Man issues I've ever read.
And then, of course, we have, yes, from the cult of Conchu himself, yes, Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast, Ray.
Hey, how you going, everyone? Dave, yes, I have sacrificed a virgin. Thank you for asking.
Hail Conchu.
Hail Conchu. Things are looking bright. Blood sacrifice, blood moon.
That's it, man. Gotta do what you need to do to please Conchu.
Yeah, that's it. He's very fickle. So, but Phil, how you been? All right?
How are you,
Phil?
Phil?
Good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Doing, yeah.
I've
keeping busy.
I've got a question before we even start.
Oh boy.
Are you guys reading the current Amazing Spider-Man and specifically this X-Men crossover, and is it worth my time?
Oh, I think I answered that in one of your shows, Phil, but I'll let you go first, yeah?
Yes, spoilers, kids. Me and Lilith already recorded the next episode. So, yes, next episode, which you will hear next week, yes, Ray kind of drops into the chat room towards the end of the episode. So.
But yeah, what's
I mean, it's kind of, I don't know, they're kind of dragging it out.
Just the dark web storyline, or his run in general?
Dave, you can miss it. Let's just say you can miss it.
Well, dark web, yes, but then it's like they've also been dragging out, issue 1. They're like, oh, what did Peter do? Peter did something horrible, and it's like now we're at issue 17. They still haven't answered it.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Really?
Inferno. It's kind of like Inferno. All these demons come up and terrorize the city. But you have, the point of difference is you have Chasm, you have Ben Reilly, our boy, the big bad.
Yeah, Ben Reilly's teamed up with Madeline Pryor.
He's got a good
Phil. The two clones.
The two clones. Yeah, Dave. He's got a good. I thought it was innovative, Phil. He's got an offensive spider sense. Is that correct?
Yeah, like attacked Peter or something. Yeah, they didn't fully explain.
So Dave, he's got the spider sense. Everyone knows the spider sense, but he can actually use that as an offensive weapon. Don't ask me to explain it. It's kind of like I think it's a psionic. It's like a psionic.
Like
head
a psionic blast kind of
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's cool.
He's picked that up pretty late in the game.
Yeah. Well, I think it's
what's that?
Yeah.
He also fell into some weird chemicals at
That's
the end of the
true as well.
thing. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, but you're not exactly giving a glowing recommendation for the run in general.
Missable, Dave.
I didn't like that making him the villain anyway, but then it's like,
yeah,
we were like halfway through before anything happened, where he like sent Peter to limbo.
Do you think, Phil? Do you think Ben will come back to his past glory? A lot of Ben Reilly fans are saying, "Crap, this is it. They've just destroyed him, and he's just going to be this bad guy, Chasm, from now on." I don't know. I hope as well.
Odd thing to happen to Ben Reilly anyway. But,
I think he'll turn around again.
I hope they bring him back to being a hero. I just thought that they wiped he's all mad that he lost most of Peter's memories. I was hoping they were doing that to make him like his own man, where he's not just like, he's not literally like a clone, a copy of Peter.
Yeah.
Okay. Jeez. Wow, not a glowing review, guys. Wow.
No, not at all.
You could just read like the if you want to read it, just the main Amazing Spider-Man book. You don't have to pick up the tie-ins.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
doing.
thinking of doing.
Yeah, that's what
just
I'm
reading
doing.
Because I have read a
Yeah.
couple and I thought it was okay. I was like, but just I've got it stashed on my iPad to read. Did you like, Phil, just in general, big picture, did you like Nick Spencer's run before that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I liked that. I thought that was good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Just a question that I had for the Ultimate Spider Cast.
I think the current Amazing Spider-Man run, and Phil, you probably can verify. It's been up and down. For the most part, it's pretty solid. The Dark Web, in particular, I think, has been pretty weak. But the series as a whole's been okay. I know, Phil, that you're thinking like some of the issues are spinning its wheels. But yeah, I mean, Tombstone. That's all I can say.
Oh yeah, the run started with Tombstone, so Ray was all pleased with that.
He was hyped.
I was hyped.
Yeah. Okay.
Praise Conchu.
Cool. Yeah. And who is the writer? Is it Zeb Wells?
Yeah, Zeb Wells.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And Ed McGuinness makes a guest appearance
For the art,
Oh.
yeah.
I love Ed McGuinness's art. Wow.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
The art's
Class,
good. Yeah.
I love his artwork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And JRJR is actually doing some good stuff as well. Like, you know how he's kind of fallen off? You're getting classic, almost classic JRJR. So that's good.
Yeah. Well, he's very up and down, old JR. Like, it's which version of him is going to turn up, on what week.
So we just call him Jar Jar? Well, that's not going. That doesn't go down well. Anyway.
So our two titles tonight, what are they, Phil?
Amazing Spider-Man 415 and Spider-Man 72.
I have a confession. I had never read, although I own the trades, I have never read a single issue of Onslaught ever. And I know it by reputation only that it's just the manifestation of like peak 90s, blah, blah, blah. But not to say I was lost, because obviously I've read a billion comics. Really, I mean, it's just the Sentinels, like in this storyline. That's all that it basically. I don't know what Onslaught really was, but in this, it's just the Sentinels going crazy.
Well, Onslaught, basically the entity was like a part of Magneto and the dark part of Xavier kind of merged into this being called Onslaught.
Oh,
and really? It's him controlling these Sentinels. Trying to.
So
get
it's a person or just a like force?
Oh, it's a.
It looks like a big armored being, but it's.
I think I've seen that. Yeah, okay, maybe on the covers.
It's like red and purple and stuff.
It looks like that. It looks like the big bad from Toy Story.
I know
Zod or something, Zor or something.
That's funny because when you tell me that concept, that's a cool concept. Although I'm sure it was done extremely cheesily.
Well, it was the '90s, so I mean.
But these issues as well were very much, Dave. They're very much like tangential tie-ins.
Yes,
like
I got that feeling. But that was kind of, I thought, fun because it was just the Sentinels just hunting them down. I was like, that's okay,
It's kind of like one of those things where you can just like fool yourself to imagine that this is just like there's a premise and this is just a fun like couple of issues. Spider-Man versus Sentinels, go. And that was basically it. Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
Hold on, I'm gonna get a picture of Onslaught here for Dave.
But
the heroes trying to defeat Onslaught. That's what sent the Avengers and the Fantastic Four and the heroes reborn. Yeah,
I see. When I see the image creators did whatever they did with those characters there.
Yes.
Right. See, I wasn't collecting any comics in this period. This was my dark spot.
Wilderness or just away from it. I
just wasn't collecting the main titles at all, like not at all. I didn't even, but when I came back to reading comics, everyone was talking about, like, I heard this mention as kind of like where it crashed.
That's Onslaught.
Oh, okay, right.
Very 90s.
Huge.
Just I love the blades, the shoulder blades, like everything's spiky.
It's 90, but it's not that bad. I mean, it's 90s. It's just classic 90s.
It's supposed to be part Magneto too. So
exactly. The
I
red
can
and
see a
purple.
bit of Magneto there.
Yeah, absolutely.
The helmet and stuff. Yeah.
I think,
and
as you say,
as well. Wow.
Yeah, I think as you touched upon, Dave, or Phil, it was like this was like a seminal part like a milestone, really. I think in the because a lot of like in groups that I'm in, they talk about Onslaught as being the turning point and stuff. So I guess this is where, as you say, Phil, culminated. Like the
In a
90s
good
kind of
way or a
culminated.
bad way, do they talk about it?
I mean, no opinion on it, but just in the fact that, like, looking back, this is where it kind of ended up, and then I think it shifted
This is where
potentially
it
shortly
ended
after
up.
that.
This is what we're all leading up to. 30 years of X-Men. We got Onslaught.
Yeah.
What was the whole thing? Because Xavier got infected by like Magneto's psyche because it's the point where I don't know if you ever heard of like Magneto like rips the adamantium out of Wolverine.
yeah.
And almost
Yeah,
kills
I
him.
know all
was
about
that
that,
Fatal
yeah.
Attractions?
Yeah, and
Fatal Attractions.
Xavier's like no more, and like he basically like lobotomizes him.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That was when it was awesome.
Is that where we get Pirate? We got Savage Pirate Wolverine.
He had
like a band-
he looked more
nose.
savage.
Yeah, without the nose.
Yeah, he looked more like an animal. Yeah, he's got the bone claws and
He's
stuff.
feral.
And
Feral
the band,
Wolverine.
yeah, he had the
Feral.
bandana
Yeah.
on though, didn't he?
Part of it. Yeah,
exactly.
that was part of that. Yeah.
And if you read those issues, they can never quite decide on just how weird he looks. Sometimes he looks like normal Wolverine. Sometimes he's like,
Yeah,
just looks bizarre. Like,
yeah.
no, that's good. They're good. That's good times. Yeah, I was reading a bit of that stuff. That was good.
Yeah. Putting it into context, because around this time, then, as we know, with these issues, Peter Parker's sporadic at best with his Spider-Man powers.
And
we've
I
seen
think
this up. Yeah.
one thing I'll say is in these two issues, and they're not that bad. They just run of the mill.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it with Peter, like how I feel they were starting to thread Peter back into the main story a lot more, and probably starting to build towards him becoming Spider-Man again. Yeah. I think they're doing it actually quite well.
Yeah,
I mean, it's funny how his powers run out every now and then.
Yeah, I mean, they're still hammering us over the head in case we don't know yet that Peter is the clone and Ben is the real one. That's been telegraphed.
They're not subtle about that.
No, but you're right. I mean, it is cool, especially this whole kind of era with Mary Jane pregnant, and so she's kind of like really vulnerable. And Peter having to in this first issue using his spider powers and not costumed up, but he's taking the risk to carry Mary Jane away from the Sentinels. It's quite fun stuff.
No, it's cool. And I like the way the Sentinels, who I know from sort of more classic X-Men, who are all about hunting down mutants and stuff, they mention they're also after like augmented humans.
Yeah.
Which I guess Spider-Man is. He's not a mutant, but he's augmented. And they can scan him. And then when he loses his powers, they're like, he no longer has powers. He is no longer a threat. We will go away now. And it's like, very, very nice of the Sentinel there. Nicer than normal Sentinel, who are just normally just total bastards. Like whenever I see them.
Yeah, I know they were kind of unrelenting. They're kind of like giant Terminators. But you're right.
A lot of problems for the X-Men over the years.
It was that computer logic where it's like once his powers cut out, it's like, well, we're supposed to go after anyone with powers.
He's no threat and follow protocol.
Yeah.
I love that stuff. Like that's that classic. Like it is out of a movie. Look, you know what? I read these two issues last night, and firstly, I was relieved to see it was only 2 issues because I remembered last night. They read fast. Yeah. They're not fucking great, but I weigh them against. Weigh them against similar comics that I read around the same time. Like I read a lot of Green Lantern around the same time. Like, and if I'd spent like $2 or $3 on them, like they get the job done. I mean, it's comic book storytelling 101. Like it's obviously very professional. The artwork is actually very good.
Bagley's art, like with the inking, is brilliant in this one. Yeah.
Yeah. So like they are good in a sense. They're also inessential in another sense.
Yeah, like I said, they suffer from you have to be part of a crossover.
Yes.
But having said that, Phil, I think what it does well is that it's a standalone from the crossover as well. So if you are a big fan of Onslaught, the whole saga, then you'd be picking up and you'd be like wowing yourself because it's connected. But if you're not, like reading it now, for instance, it's just a nice little fun kind of
Yeah, it's
jaunt.
nice.
Yeah.
It's nice either way. It's
Yeah.
like if you're reading the Onslaught crossover,
Yeah.
you don't have to read
Yeah.
this. If you're not
You
reading
don't.
that, you don't. You can just read this without, not having read
Yeah.
Onslaught. Yeah.
Exactly.
And again,
yeah.
it's like Spider-Man has 4 monthly titles at this point, so only 2 of them are part of the
Yeah.
crossover. They could have made all 4 part, but they didn't.
Oh, I mean, 2 is probably enough. You don't need to.
Yeah.
What else can you say, really? I mean, because these 2 are consecutive. They one after the other. So, I mean, yeah, you don't want to wait up. Interested to know what the other 2 then would be doing, because if continuity-wise, it'd still be part of it, right? Anyway.
What do you mean, Ray?
Well, if I mean, not that Marvel will ever do it now, but if it was continuity, if you have the 4 titles, so Spider-Man, the adjective list one, and Amazing Spider-Man, that ties in obviously because they work one after the other. But the other 2, surely they'll be set around the Onslaught saga as well. So what would they say?
I think I looked at the Epic collection or the Ben Reilly Epic, and I saw one of the next issues has all the heroes. It's like farewell to the heroes. So I think it's a nod to all those heroes leaving.
Oh, okay. So it is connected. Okay.
It's sort of connected. Well, I mean, it's Marvel back in the day. They do a nod to what's happening in the greater universe.
Yeah.
And can I just say something that and I'm interested to get your guys' reactions. Something that I detest in modern comics is the way it goes from event to event to event. And I saw that bullshit Dark Crisis at DC, and I was saying to Rich, it's literally like you could just have ignored it. And then I saw Lazarus something, and I was just like, seriously, guys, like you're barely waiting a week. I think that they've diluted the meaning of the term event and diluted the sale factor. What do you think, Phil?
I mean, it's just they have to have a crossover. One doesn't, like you said, one doesn't end before another one revs up, and.
But are punters out there really going crazy for every single one of these?
I doubt they would be. I mean, I don't. I could be totally wrong. People talk about fatigue. People talking about the MCU fatigue. I'm still pretty keen on that, but I get fatigued with these events in the comics. Like I've fatigued out long ago. I now just pick and choose what I'm interested in. And say, for instance, this Dark Web, I'm just following. I collect Amazing Spider-Man, so I just collect that. I'm not even picking up any of the others because it's just
something I did see. And Phil, because I know you do 1,000 shows, do you read like every Marvel comic that comes out per week?
No. I mean, I read a lot, but no.
Okay, well, how are the Murder World stuff? Because that's actually just
that looks
Murder
good,
World. That actually looks good, and I've got them on my iPad to read. Have you read any of those?
I mean, those are good. I mean, they had the Avengers one, and then the Spider-Man one out. But
there's a Wolverine one this week.
Yeah, I mean, there's most of it isn't any superheroes. It's a bunch of people just trying to get through like arcade, like invited a bunch of people.
I love arcade.
World, and
I love arcade.
Like, only one of you. I think how did they start? Maybe with 200 people, and he's just like, oh yeah, only one of you's getting out of here alive.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they've already shown people, but the only superhero thing they've really shown so far is like Black Widow's like discovered this, and I guess she's gonna like wreck the party because
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I'm thinking of doing a Signal Doom episode where we do all the Murder Worlds because I think they look fun. And I've always liked arcade. Always liked arcade.
But even that's like a smaller kind of event, right? It's only and they're specialized issues, right? It's not like they get their tie-in issues. They're like standalone Murder World, semicolon Amazing Spider-Man.
But see, I like that. I think that is it's fun.
I gravitate more towards that because I know they're small and contained rather than I don't know what the latest big one was. I know, Phil, you loved it as well, and I got to read it, like King in Black and all that. The bigger events.
They're doing like another symbiote event this summer or something. It's just like
I like the other. What was that Carnage one? That Extreme Carnage, whatever it was called. The one before that. Maximum Carnage. That was good. Actually, I really enjoyed that. But just too much.
I just was interested in getting your thoughts, guys.
Yeah.
Because I do think that it's. When I saw Lazarus Planet seconds after Dark Crisis, and nobody was talking about Dark Crisis. You know?
Yeah, there's not enough time, Dave. There's not enough time. to talk about it.
If nobody's talking about your
Yeah.
your book and no one's buying your book, what is the point?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, exactly.
Exactly. I tell you something. I was listening to John Suntress talking to who was it? That guy Johnson, the guy who does Superman.
Oh, Philip Kennedy Johnson.
Okay, so get this. So and believe you me, I like his Last God. I like the guy in general. They're hyping this Action Comics 1050. Yeah, we did it on the show this week. It's so appallingly mediocre. And Superman, by the way, he's 22 again in the artwork, and barely looks older than his son. I was like reading it, going, "This is what they were hyping. Like this is very, very average."
Well, they had to put a secret identity back after Bendis.
And that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Don't get me wrong, that's a good idea. But my God, the actual comic is just so very fucking mediocre, and they're hyping it. They're hyping it like it's the greatest thing of all time. It's like, guys, take a cold shower and take a look in the mirror. You are failing. You are failing. You know, and it was just a joke. And I'm like, am I the only person in the world who can see this? And Rich not only agreed with me, he put it out of the park. Rich put it out of the park. I'm soft pedaling compared to what he was saying. You know.
Well, you know what they lean on these days, right, Dave?
Batman. My favorite character.
For years they have, haven't they?
And he turns up.
Decades.
He turns up. Yeah. And let me tell you this. Can I do a spoiler? Because who the fuck cares? He says there's this big thing, and like they wipe the whole world's knowledge of Superman being Clark Kent, which I agree with. And then they go to Batman, and Batman is like, "Well, don't worry, Ray. He still knows." He goes, "Oh yeah, John put mind blocks in all the JLA, so we're all cool. We all know you're still Clark Kent." And then someone goes, "The worst thing about it was it really Lois Lane like lost her job or something, or she couldn't be the great reporter she is." And I was just like, seriously, that was the biggest fucking concern, the Lois Lane, you know. And my eyes almost rolled out of my head. And I love Lois Lane, but I was like, who is writing this? Who is writing this comic? Johnson, you're a joke. If that's the best you've got, Tom Taylor, you've let the side down, and it was and Perry White turns up and has a stroke when he finds out that that Clark Kent's Superman or whatever, he literally has a stroke and almost dies, and I'm just like, Jesus, like this is the best we've got. All I can say is I'm glad I sailed the high seas, you know, because it was appalling, and I hope this gets through to DC High Command.
If you know, you know what Dave's referring to. If you know, you know. So yeah, about the high seas, I'm talking about, Dave.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
anyway, that's my review.
I'm glad I kind of left it,
but I had to blast. I honestly, I'm going to say
I left it after War World was good. I left
good.
After that. Yeah.
Can I say this? Western comics at DC and Marvel, they have hit the, how do you say the word, nadir or nida, however you say that word. We are at the lowest period since the late 90s in terms of quality. And these people are deluding themselves. They don't seem to care that they're not selling. Nobody likes it. CB Cebulski, you're a clown, you're a joke. Tom Brevoort, you're a coward and always have been. And DC's no better. They are literally running into the iceberg and saying, there is no problem here. There is a huge problem. Anyway, that's all I've got to say, guys. I mean,
at least Marvel, they've been doing like a bunch of miniseries, like on the 90s stuff. I mean, did anyone read Peter David's first Joe Fixit issue?
We're talking about it before Dave's read it. I've got it. I haven't read it yet.
And J.M. DeMatteis with the Ben Reilly one.
The final
Yes, and then J.M. DeMatteis again. It's pertinent here. His new ones, the Lost Hunt. It's about Peter's time in Portland.
Yes, and believe you me, they the saving graces. Howard Mackey's coming back to do a Ghost Rider. But
Yes.
my God, doesn't that tell you something about the sales and about the interest? You've alienated a huge chunk of your audience and are now bringing back creators from 20 years ago. And not just creators, you're bringing back the storylines and set pieces from 20 or 30 years ago and representing them with your material and going, yeah, just check it out. And
It's almost
so
a
much better.
subgenre. It's almost a subgenre, isn't it?
I wonder if it's an experiment too, where it's like, hey, let's bring in these '90s stories, see
Sure.
if they sell well better than the current stuff.
It's
and-
been going.
definitely.
It's been going on for a while now. So I think they've kind of settled into a groove. I think so.
Yeah, and thank God they're doing it. It's actually a really good thing. I mean, I don't normally throw CB a fucking rose, but he's going to get one for that. He's made a couple of good decisions in his. He's kind of like Nero. The city's burning. He's playing his fiddle. He's eating his grapes. But at least he's commissioned a
Wearing
couple
his
of good
toga.
ideas.
Yeah.
Wearing his toga.
Oh, hey, Dave, have you ever read Mark Waid over at DC's the Batman Superman World's Finest?
I've started
new,
reading
isn't
it.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
It's
no, it is
like,
good. Yeah, it is good. No, I totally agree. And I've
so
started reading it.
that's another one. It's like it's old continuity because Dick Grayson is Robin, and it's
That's good as well. And
yeah.
like Mark Waid, when he turns up and is locked in, he's really good still.
Oh yeah.
I like Mark Waid. Yeah,
totally appreciate that. And in fairness, I hope he stays on that, and we end up getting like an omnibus. Like it reminds me back in the old days, Jeff Loeb doing Batman Superman. I love that.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
there is a few good
Classics.
things here and there. Like don't get me wrong.
But that's what I'm saying. All the
yeah.
good stuff, it's like focused on like past continuity and past. Yeah.
Yeah, which is interesting.
Anyway, yeah. I mean, luckily we're doing '90s comics.
You shocked Ray.
I'm just. I mean, so one of the points here I thought was good with the Sentinels was you get looters. I love that aspect. That not only are the Sentinels the problems, but it brings out the rats from the woodwork and
Which it would too, wouldn't it?
yeah, it would. Well, absolutely, and so that's good. So you got Spidey or Ben Reilly. Not
Are
only
these Sentinels bigger than normal Sentinels, right? Or have Sentinels
think
always
they're-
that big?
yeah, they're always big. I think so. I'm assuming these are normal size. But you got Ben Reilly, taking on some goons as well. Not only Sentinels, but he's people looting or trying to hold up a store. And Bagley's art, I think.
It's beautiful.
The second half of it, I don't know if there's a change in Inca, but it's just even better. I think the second half. So yeah,
I think it's absolutely amazing. I think for me, it just sells the whole book. I don't even really care if it's not the greatest story in the world. For me, the artwork, it brings me back to a really happy place where I'm like, this is excellent artwork. I didn't realize in my ignorance that he'd done so much Spider-Man before Ultimate Spider-Man. I just did not know that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Big in the 90s, and just again harping on the action, the level of like detail, so to speak. I love it where he gets the manhole cover, and he kind of throws that.
To head,
to kind of shear his head, again, I say it in some of the episodes I do. Sometimes action in comics nowadays is very incidental, and it's more about them talking while they fight. They're talking while they fight here as well, but there's definitely a focus on the action here, using the impact webbing, throwing the manhole cover. It's great. It's good to see.
It's more kinetic back in the day.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, we even get a cameo appearance by '90s Green Goblin too.
Yeah. Saving the day.
Was that when the Green Goblin was technically a good guy for 5 seconds?
Yeah, that's Phil Urich. Yeah. This is kind of when they take him out too, because it's like all the power's in his suit, and I think it's in his own book during this crossover. His suit gets trashed, so
yeah.
Then the series is basically just like, I gotta quit because my suit's trashed.
Yeah. I love J. Jonah Jameson as well. Like there's, he's rallying the troops in the office with Daily Bugles getting walloped. But there's a bit that made me kind of smirk a little. There's a bit where he even, I think, admits that he'll give them like overtime or something. I thought that was
He
pretty
says
funny.
he won't dock their pay if they leave.
Yeah, he won't dock that. Yeah, it's like,
and he grumbles it like he hates it.
Yeah,
like it's
he
funny.
hates it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's good. He's good. He's a good addition.
That's excellent. Oh, totally,
good
man.
value.
Like, I mean, that's the classic J. Jonah that we all know and love, really.
Yeah.
I've got a question. In the current comics,
Mhm.
does J. Jonah still know that Peter Parker's Spider-Man? Because I read an
I
issue.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't gone back on that yet. Yeah, because when they're
and I just think that was the stupidest decision of all time, because that just makes no sense. You know?
Yeah. They had, well, I mean, if anything, it led to one of the best. I think it was a Chip Zdarsky, Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man. There was one issue where they kind of sit down and kind of talk it out.
I read it, and it was a great issue. But like, you've got to. But like, this is what they don't think about. Great issue.
Yeah.
But then you've got to do next month and the month after. And now J. Jonah knows that Peter's Spider-Man, and like suddenly all those fucking scenes that we always could have are gone.
But then it's current comics, which I don't think they ever do justice to the supporting cast. You might not see Jonah for a year.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. I reckon he'll be reset at some stage.
I mean, he's in Dark
sure.
Web, but it's like, for the longest time you didn't see him, and
That's
he's in hell.
To me. Like J. Jonah to me is integral.
exactly.
You know?
Yeah, he is.
Wow. But what's next, Aunt May? Like, you know, she's gone as well. Like
they had Aunt May know after like around Civil War. But
no, and
they backed out of that during One More Day, which that is the biggest mistake they made. Taking that marriage away.
Yeah, agree. Totally agree. No, when I say sorry, I don't mean Aunt May being told. I mean, are they going to take Aunt May out of the comic as well? Like, you know, it's the DNA of Spider-Man. Like,
and again, too, it's like he sacrificed his marriage and all this for to save her, and then it's like they don't use her half the time. And
I don't get it. Like, they've almost forgotten who Spider-Man is. You know, it's like, I don't know. I've read a lot of Spider-Man. Maybe I haven't read Spider-Man a lot in the last like 3 or 4 years, but I've read a lot of Spider-Man, and certain characters have to turn up a lot. You know. I don't know.
Your Harrys, your Bettys.
Hey, I know. Dave, they're doing a Mary Jane Black Cat book again by everyone's good friend Jed McKay.
Yeah, for Dark Web.
Whoa, slow down. Okay, yeah, all right. Now we're.
I knew I'd get his attention there. Yeah, Mary Jane. And
I do like those two. In fact, Ray and I were just talking about something by Jed McKay, Black Cat, which I'm going to put into the signal rotation. Ray, you were saying something about it?
Oh, the omnibus. It's out in. Is that what we're talking about?
Well, if it's an omnibus, it must have been a fairly decent sized run, was it?
Yeah. He had two decent sized runs for.
We had 2 runs on Black Cat. Yeah, and then he wrote Iron Cat too, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think you're talking. I think it might be in the. I don't want to. Maybe in the 30s. So you get a sizable Omni, maybe 30 issues, 35. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Wow, I'm looking at it here, and it got up to volume 6. Wow, I did not know that Black
volume
Cat
6.
had
So it's at
I
36.
love Black Cat.
Yeah.
I had no idea Black Cat had such a long.
Yeah, and they're very good. They went under the radar. I think Jed was he ran with it. I mean, and the success of the first one gave him the second series, and he had just as long a run there. They the Silver Fox, is that right? Phil was in there, and
Black Fox,
Black Fox, sorry, and Batroc as well. He was in that. He's really cool. So Batroc the Leaper, yeah. So it was a really fun series. Yeah.
I'm gonna put basically one of those into the rotation with Signal very shortly.
Yes,
I did not know that. I had no idea of that until Ray mentioned it tonight.
Yes.
And there's a 5.
And that's the same guy who's been on your show, isn't it, Ray? Who does Moon Knight, right?
Yeah, Jed McKay. Yeah. He So I think he pretty much. I think he kind of became popular. I think because of the Black Cat run.
Isn't it funny how some stuff like goes through the bubble and reaches everyone, and some stuff just doesn't, even if it's good? You know what I mean? Like, some stuff breaks out and everyone talks about it, like in the fan press or whatever you want to call it, and other stuff, even if it's really good, it just. I mean, I have not heard that at all. I did not know that there was a Black Cat run that was also good. You know?
Yeah.
The last I heard of Black Cat, she was kind of like a crime queen or something.
Yes, yeah, that was was that the Spencer run? I can't remember, but she popped up in the Spider-Man books Also in Silk, I think as well. She was more, yeah.
Well, you've given me something to think about, something to read.
Yeah.
But I mean, these are look. It's so hard to describe these in much detail because it's really just the Sentinels chasing Peter around and Ben around.
Yeah,
Have you got any big comments, Ray?
Oh no, just looking at Spider-Man to 72, like the next issue, John Romita Jr. doing the and Al Williamson doing the artwork. This is more of a full-on team up, I think, between Peter and Ben Reilly, taking on the Sentinels, which I thought was really cool. You have Peter commenting on Ben Reilly, like his style. Like he mentioned something about, look, he's picking up this car. He should have picked up, a bigger car.
He's kind of critiquing it, isn't he?
Yeah. But yeah, there's, again, it's just all that action, as you say, Dave. But it is fun to see both of them working together, and it is. I like it when they're kind of friendly towards each other, rather than when they're enemies. So
antagonistic.
Yeah, and they even go into the so Ben gets walloped by one of the Sentinels like mid leap, and they end up in the smokestack of all places again.
That was so fucking funny, actually. That was actually probably my favorite moment because I'm like, out of all the places in New York to fall into, you fell into the exact smokestack. Yeah. And then Ben starts teasing Peter. Yeah. Because I'm also unclear on what was going on. Like, he threw the body into the smokestack. He's like, it doesn't burn down here, genius.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, I'm unclear on whatever happened there, but I guess someone came and got the body, and
I think they said it's the Jackal pulled him out. I think.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, which makes sense. Yeah. As a retcon, but it was kind of. I mean, it's on the nose, but this is comic books. It's the mid-90s. I think it's fine. What do you think, Phil?
When we get to the end of the 90s stuff, you're going to get a lot of answers. There's one issue that, it basically spells everything out. So,
yeah.
I'm looking forward to it because I need it because I'm confused. We get to the man behind the man.
I mean, literally the master. There's a special. It's where the mastermind literally is like basically writing out his whole plot from beginning to end.
Love it.
Yeah,
it's very helpful.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Basically.
I'm still trying to guess who it is. Like, is it
It's a big name. You'll
Punisher,
know,
Dave. It's a Punisher.
Know who it is.
Is it like Harry Osborn or someone?
You're on the right track, but it's not Harry Osborn.
Someone like that, though.
Yeah.
Oh, what's his name? What's the other guy's name, Ray? The fucking guy who always teases Flash.
Flash Thompson?
Yeah.
I guess it's not that from Phil's
or the original Venom. What's
Eddie Brock?
Venom? Eddie Brock.
No.
Well, then I don't know. I don't know.
Like,
why do you want it spoiled?
Is it one of the? You remember those hot twins?
Don't spoil it.
Remember those two hot girls who used to be on top of
the rooftop?
Randy and Bambi. Now.
Randy and Bambi.
Well, that was my final guess. Randy and Bambi. I used to love those two.
No, we'll have to wait, Dave. We'll have to wait till we get there.
I don't want it spoiled because I'm so lost. I've got no idea. I'm just guessing. Do you know, Ray? Do you know?
No, I don't know. No, I don't know at all. I'm along for the ride.
I like Romita's artwork here. It's
he's got
contrast
great art.
to Bagley, but that's part of, I feel, the fun of these comics where it goes through the different titles. That one storyline is depicted differently through different eyes. I always find that a fun part of comics.
And I mean, I like also Al Williamson's inks. I mean, I remember the inks from Daredevil, most notably. The inks, and there's a definite style there. But yeah, John Romita's, there's this really cool picture of the Sentinels crashing through.
I'm
and
looking
Ben
at
Reilly,
it, Ray, with the glowing eyes.
Yeah, and Ben Reilly just with the pipe.
I'm looking at it, Ray. It's awesome.
Yeah, but he and Peter, so they depart ways. But I think it's really cool how each of them have one web shooter. Peter goes, no, you keep one as well. You need it. So they're literally both working in tandem. And the end bit was, I mean, Ben's very angry. Like in this issue and the last issue, he's pretty much fed up. He slices a Sentinel's head in last issue. He slices a hand here, and he skewers a head with the pipe. But I love Peter kicking in his spider powers, and he basically pops a head off and he he swings it into another sentinel or two sentinels. It's great. Pretty much ending it. But yeah, I love how they team up together. Yeah, and I like Ben Reilly like this, you know.
Totally.
Yeah.
Ben Reilly shouldn't be. I can understand everyone in comics having a villain turn at some time.
Yeah.
You know, given the length of time that these comics are produced.
Yeah.
But when you make Ben Reilly an out and out villain, like you know, drowning kittens in bathwater kind of style villain, I think you've lost the point of Ben Reilly.
Well, I mean, and they've done it at least twice before as well with him. So it's like enough is enough, you know. Okay, we get it, but like, can't we develop him as his own kind of hero character? Yeah.
Anyway. Well, the answer is probably that they've run out of ideas, you know.
Well, that's what Wolf and I were saying. It's like, you know, he's lost most of Peter's memories. Move him out of New York, put him like on the West Coast or something, and you know, make him his own thing.
Well, didn't Peter David have a series where he was in San Francisco or somewhere like that?
Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah, the Peter David one. He was in Las Vegas.
That was a good.
I enjoyed it. I read a few of those issues for Signal of Doom, and I thought it was fun. You know,
it was very good. Yeah. I'm hoping actually they collect that into some sort. I mean,
Surely.
not at least a complete collection. You know, I don't think it's big enough.
Are you a Spider-Man 2099 guy? Because we're having a discussion on whether to get that omnibus. It's coming out soon.
Yes, I do like that. Yeah, because most of that is Peter David. Yeah, that is,
and definitely worth it. I mean, I'm a big Peter David fan, but I've never really delved into Miguel O'Hara. But
no, it's good because like I remember when Charlie and I talked to Peter David years ago, like he said, like, you know, back in what was that 92, everyone was doing their pitch. They told everyone, you know, try to pitch Spider-Man 2099 book, and everyone was going Peter Parker's descendant and all this. And Peter David's like, I just did the opposite of everything. He's like, it's not Peter Parker. Peter Parker was a teenager when he started, so I made this guy an adult. Peter had no luck with women. I had this guy engaged when he becomes Spider-Man.
Yeah, right.
He goes, they owe me money. He goes, I'm the first one who came up with organic web shooters.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
He's like, I basically did the opposite of what Peter Parker stuff.
I mean,
did he get any cash from the Spider-Man Unlimited TV show? Because that borrowed heavily from that run, didn't it? I wonder.
Spider-Man Unlimited. Yeah, no, I haven't watched that one.
Oh, I've seen it, and it definitely borrows heavily from Spider-Man 2099, like heavily. You know, like to a point where it's like, I
like the aesthetic is really cool. I like the Spider-Man 2099 costume. I can see it there in the background.
Right? I think.
I think I might.
Do yourself a favor, Ray, and just do it.
And he's also showing up in Across the Spider-Verse.
With
wait.
the voice of none other than Moon Knight, Oscar Isaac. So
really,
yeah. So,
I'm looking forward to that movie. Is that coming out this year?
Yeah, I think is it summer or something? Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, mid to late probably.
Well, they pushed it back. It was supposed to be like the end of last year, and then they pushed it back.
Me too. Into the Spider-Verse is so cool.
I love it. It's one of my favorite out of all the superhero movies that have ever been. Like Batman 89 and Into the Spider-Verse is right up there.
It is very good.
I love it. I think it's great.
At first, I was kind of like, what is everyone hyping this up for? But then I watched it again, and it was like...
Come on, Ray.
I don't know why I didn't... Maybe because I missed when it premiered, so it was a few weeks later. I was like,
you came in late, man. You came in super late.
But then I watched it again.
Part one, because it's 2 parts, comes out in June 2nd. So.
Awesome.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it was really good.
I've got a question for you guys. Are you guys A, excited for the Dungeons and Dragons movie, and B, will you see it in cinemas?
I think I'll see it, but I've got no experience with Dungeons and Dragons. But
yeah, I'm really not a big Dungeons. I mean, I might eventually
see it,
but I'm probably not going to the theater to see it.
Okay.
Sure. No, I'm just interested because I am definitely going to see it, but I think it's facing an uphill battle to be a hit movie. I really do.
Oh yeah, it'll probably be if anything, it will just not a sleeper, but it will kind of quietly come into the cinemas and probably go.
Yeah.
It's a bit niche, Dave. I mean, I know there are millions of people that love Dungeons and Dragons, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a bit hard
it's still I think faces an uphill battle to be a
Yeah.
I really think that they should do well. They have announced a TV show, and I think a TV show on Netflix could be the answer.
Yeah.
You can get more people in the door that way. I just, as you say, Ray, I still think, even though it's popular amongst all the geeks and the nerds, I don't think it's like Spider-Man or X-Men, which is a name. Superman, people know,
Yeah,
that people will go and spend money on,
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, like we're talking about like since 2008 or whatever, or even before then, superheroes. I mean, they've kind of crept into mainstream like consciousness and pop culture more so. Dungeons and Dragons seems still very much something that not many people know about.
I just want to get your thoughts because I kind of agree with you. Yeah, but I will be supporting it. But I am a dyed-in-the-wool Dungeons and Dragons fan.
Yeah,
so
I'd be keen. I mean, I have no idea. I have no idea what to expect from it, but it sounds fun.
It's just fantasy adventure, man. With a slice.
But I mean, Dungeons and Dragons could be anything, right? Can't you like create any characters and stuff? So I wonder what characters they'll pick for this one.
Basically, there are some rules. Like it's like dude, it's heavily ripping off like Tolkien and stuff.
Okay. Yeah,
it's not like it reinventing the wheel that much. It's just like they're like, let's do a more cheesy version of Tolkien,
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Like elves and dwarves and hobbits.
Yeah. That sounds fun.
It's cool. I like it. One thing I do like here, when you look at some of the artwork of the Sentinels, they do the thing like they do with Iron Man sometimes, where they try to give the Sentinels expressions, even though they've got like robotic. And it's like, I love that as well. Like you see one here, there's 3 Sentinels, and one's crushing down to get like Spider-Man, and the Sentinel, he looks like he's got this expression like, huh?
Is this towards the end, or with the car?
Spider-Man's put a pipe through him. It's the page after the pipe. See that middle Sentinel?
Okay,
it's kind of like he's like, huh, as the pipe goes through his head.
yeah. Just the tilt of the angle of the face. Yeah,
I love it when they try to do expressions on like what should be inanimate faces.
Yeah.
Like it's like when they show Iron Man like smiling or something.
True, yeah. It's kind of like the Spider-Man, his eyes as well. He can and they've actually worked that into the MCU with Stark Tech, but when his eyes can grow and go small and stuff. Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah.
And I liked it. This whole this issue was fun, really. And then
it was fun, as you say. I mean, these
two. The next one is funny. It says the sensational Spider-Man. After the onslaught comes the swarm. Yeah, that's the teaser for the next issue. And
that's what we're covering next week. 2 issues of Sensational Spider-Man. It's gonna be the Swarm one. Yeah,
nice. Yeah.
I mean, overall, I'm going to give both of these issues a 7 out of 10. I think it's like they get the job done. It's 2 issues in a massive, side issues of a massive event, but you didn't need to know that Onslaught was Magneto and Xavier mixed up or whatever. It was all irrelevant. All you need to know was Sentinels are hunting Spider-Man.
Hunting, superpowered or whatever, or mutants or something, augmented. How about you, Phil?
I mean, like I said, it's good where it's like you don't have to read the rest of the crossover.
Yeah.
You don't even have, like Dave said, you don't even have to know who Onslaught is. It's basically just, oh, hey, there's a crossover coming. There's a crossover happening. You can go read it if you want, but you don't have to.
Yeah. I'd agree with Dave about 7 out of 10. It's fun. Like I didn't mind it at all. I mean, it's not it's not going to win awards or anything like that, but it's just solid comic book. It's what you want.
Again, it's not furthering the story at all, but it's
not at all. Yeah,
it's a good action one, and I'm sure there was pressure to be like, you got to be part of this crowd because I think every book that had Onslaught
had to some.
It was a major event, and I would dare say at this time was probably around the time Marvel were probably deep in the hole, weren't they? Financially, and they were looking
around that time.
I mean, if it not they were heading in that direction, And again, it was the jumpstart the whole Heroes Reborn, so I'm sure they wanted eyes on that.
Yep. And it is interesting that I did see in a future issue that's in the same collection, so I can't be too far away. I see like Captain America and Iron Man and all that, and they're like in not silhouette, but kind of like transparent almost a bit, and it's got like
Okay.
farewell to the heroes or something.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh yeah. That'll be the next amazing issue. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's everyone's like the Avengers and the Fantastic Four are dead. Everyone in their
Dead.
regular Marvel universe thinks they're dead.
But
for a while.
but our money bank, the X-Men and Spider-Man are just fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Luckily,
'Cause I forget whose book it is, but there are some lines in one of the books where it's just like, "Oh yeah, the Avengers and the Fantastic Four are dead. Who's going to protect us the next time Galactus shows up? Spider-Man, Daredevil, those like dirty mutants." And,
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
dirty mutants.
Yeah.
But I like the way they say the Fantastic Four. Like I get the Fantastic Four are cool, but like they're not my first thought if it's going to be. I don't know. I know
Just because they're explorers and stuff. Yeah.
But like still, I'm not.
And they're
thinking of them
considered
as
powerful.
they're the ones who stopped Galactus a few times.
Yeah.
I guess. Maybe I'm not giving.
But I know what
credit.
you mean. I mean, because there's only 4 of them, and they're, they're very
one of them's got flame
simple.
powers. One of them's just like a less
Supernova,
powerful
Dave.
Hulk.
Supernova.
But one of them's a less powerful Hulk. Then you've got Invisible Woman, and then you've got.
Then you got the greatest
fucking
weapon,
Stretchy.
Dave.
Yeah.
No,
I know,
you got the greatest
Stretchy.
weapon. No,
The
his
brain.
mind. Yes.
I know.
Exactly.
I understand that. I understand it, Ray. But I'm also like, yeah. I mean, I'm like Xavier's pretty smart, and he has all the X-Men.
Yeah, and they're all cool,
Yeah, they're much cooler.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I'm always,
with you,
as I often say, Ray, and the Hulk's
Yeah.
stronger than Thing. So
Yeah,
why do you need Thing?
Yeah, you're right. That's
Anyway.
true.
What are you giving it out of 10, Phil? Did you score it?
I gotta go with you guys. 7 out of 10. Again, it's
Yeah.
not the deepest thing, but again, it's a good action thing, and like I said,
Yeah.
it fulfills its assignment. It's like a
Yep.
decent story as part of a crossover. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Good art. Yeah.
oh yeah,
Oh, the art certainly really helps
Oh,
both
yeah.
issues. I think. the
If
art
it
is
was like
actually
a
pretty good.
yeah, if it was like an intern or whoever, like a temp that's come into the art,
Which we
then
do
it would
see in
be
some
terrible.
issues.
We
You
do.
see-
Yeah.
in doing these Ultimate Spider casts, you come across issues where you're like,
yeah.
man, this art's not great.
It's not
like,
good. Yeah, exactly. So I'm
especially
glad.
in some of the more supplemental titles like team ups and stuff. Like remember that
Yeah.
one we did where he goes to like some fantasy world or something. Like it's just like what the fuck is going on? Like
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
These art was professional.
It's good to have. Yeah.
Yeah, but Dave, I know you were saying it's like you didn't realize Bagley had done so much Spider-Man before Ultimate Spider-Man. Yeah, he jumped on it like 351, and he was the regular penciler. He's about to jump off here again at in the next couple issues. But I mean, he was probably on there for at least 60. Around 60
That's
or
He's
so.
a workhorse.
5 years. Yeah.
He's a
about 5
workhorse
years.
because he did about 100 issues with Bendis on Ultimate.
Yeah, he's great.
He's a workhorse, and that's where I got into him.
And he's been in and out on Amazing Spider-Man the last couple years. So
and he did New Warriors as well.
oh yeah, that's where like he first I think made his name on New Warriors back in the 90s.
Yeah.
There was crickets when you said that, right? You might have noticed. Like,
Come on, Dave. New Warriors is the classic New Warriors. I'm talking about, Namorita, Speedball.
Yeah.
No, that's New Mutants. No,
Firestar.
Yeah, great stuff. Night
Who's
Thrasher.
Who's the one that they ruined and he became like Penance or something?
Oh, Speedball.
They just made it really dark and depressing, and it was just like, oh my god.
He's a great character. Speedball.
Yeah.
Ray said New Warriors, and I just heard Dave like.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's the same as when Ray starts talking about Marvel Cosmic. I just tune out. Just tune out.
Dave doesn't like the Marvel Cosmic. Yeah,
I hate it. Actually.
Oh, Ray, Will, and I are so mad. They're coming out with new Guardians of the Galaxy stuff around when that movie comes out in May. No Quasar in sight.
No Quasar.
Oh dear me.
Bullcrap. Yeah.
What about the other one, Ray? What was the other one we discussed tonight?
Nova.
Nova, that's right. Yeah. Another character.
Dave doesn't like.
But you know what? I don't even like. Frankly, for most of my life, I wasn't even aware there was Marvel Cosmic. And then it was like, oh,
Silver Surfer. Come on.
Yeah, a couple of them I like.
Yeah.
Couple. Silver Surfer and a Galactus. That's it.
Yeah.
Those two. That's enough for me. I'm like, I could have stopped with those two. We didn't need all the other ones. Although I will say this, on Seal of Doom, we read something. I want to say it was called Annihilation, something like that.
Yeah.
And most of it went way over my head. But
Yeah.
it got to this point, which I think was brilliant, where like there were these faces that were sort of personifications of like different parts of the universe. And they were like, and they were staring at each other. And I was like, man, this is some deep level shit. And I was reminded of JM saying we're deep inside a dream of God.
Oh, there you
know?
go.
And it was just, I was just like, what is going on? At the heart of the Marvel Universe, they were sort of like, not gods, but like really powerful avatars, like the Celestials, but more powerful. Do you know what I'm talking about, right?
There were something similar. Yeah, there were things similar, but they're all. I mean, I'm not an aficionado with cosmic.
Wow.
But something reminded me of that in Quasar. I can't remember what they were called. But
here's my point. Remember when I said to you, have you ever come to a product and thinking, if I pick this up, it will be in binary code? You remember that where I said zeros and ones? I was like, man, this is like the blueprint DNA of all their Marvel cosmic bullshit. And like, it's just like, man, this was what it all gets down to. And it was almost like I had this moment where I was like, if this is what it gets to, what is the point?
Yeah.
You know, like, what is the point of the petty ins and outs of all the fighting if it gets down to these faces staring at each other in space?
I don't know. I've got no
it's
answer.
Deep, isn't it, man? Yeah. Wow.
But Dave, if you want some good Marvel cosmic from like the early 2000s, Peter David did like 2 Captain Marvel series that were pretty good.
Captain Marvel, Dave. Marvel.
Well, the son of Marvel, yeah.
I'm sorry, Phil. I love you, Phil, but that will never be happening, and I'll never check it out.
I mean, it's a lot of it's Earthbound. You know, he's bonded to Rick Jones, and he switches places with Rick Jones and stuff. It's Peter David.
Rick Jones. Rick Jones. Well, sorry, Rick Jones from Hulk.
Yeah,
Hulk and Cap.
Yeah, he switches places with Rick Jones, and you know, Rick's wife Marlo is in there. You know,
you'd love Marlo, Dave.
Oh,
Marlo. I do love Marlo, and Phil's doing the impossible here. I'm getting slightly interested in something to do with Captain Marvel.
Janet, was it?
Yeah,
Janice.
Yeah.
I just think you're doing. Phil, you've got the gift of the gab, my friend. And,
pick the omnibus up, Dave. Pick the omnibus up.
The omnibus. I'll be selling the whole high season that one. I'll be in the pirate city of Tortuga, reading that one.
Oh, and something else that's good that hasn't been collected. From another one from the early 2000s when JMD Mateus wrote the Spectre book. It's Hal Jordan as the Spectre.
That's great.
Yeah, we're reading that for the first time. I'm like, I can't believe I slept on this the first time.
Wow, nice.
Dude, we did the first trade of that on Signal of Doom, and I very much enjoyed it.
Yes. Yeah.
Spectre's great.
We also did previously years ago. We did John Ostrander collection of Spectre, which was excellent.
Yeah, very good.
Really good. Both of
they're
those.
The only ones I've read. Yeah.
The James DeMatteis has a really gifted artist. Really, the artwork is not like something you would get in a normal mainstream superhero comic at all. It's really quite interesting, and I thoroughly recommend it actually as a read.
Cool.
It's pretty, and it's not the Spectre you would imagine. Like the Spectre, how he normally is. It's a bit different to normal. It's a bit more like Sandman, actually.
Oh, okay.
If I had to think of something it's like, it's in that realm. You know? Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Well, 7 out of 10. I mean, keep on coming.
All round.
Onslaught, not cited in this 2-issue.
No.
And he's
still makes a 7 out of 10. Yeah.
Were the Sentinels working for Onslaught?
I mean, he's basically controlling them because they're robots, so it's just like.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
They're always
Could
fun.
have done with
Good
some
value.
Wolverine. Could have done with some Wolverine.
Noseless Wolverine. That would have been cool.
Noseless feral Wolverine. Yeah, why not? Sounds good to me. All right, guys. Well, what are we doing next time, Phil? Do you know?
All right, as I mentioned, yes. Next time we're doing Sensational Spider-Man 9 and 10. That Swarm story.
Okay.
Nice.
Easy.
That's right. That's right, kids. Nazi skeleton covered in bees.
Yes, I love Swarm. I mean, just the concept is so cool. So,
I've never heard of it, so I'm excited.
Swarm, I love Spider-Man Rogues galleries are fun. Anyway,
He's basically just a zombie cover, but it's a skeleton covered in bees.
Swarm of bees, Dave.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. Sounds, I guess challenging, a swarm of bees.
Yeah. I mean, you control a whole swarm of bees, man. You get stung enough, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
I guess so.
And now bees are protected now, right? So people will be against Spider-Man. Don't hurt him. Don't hurt the swarm.
Get a flamethrower out.
Yeah,
like
we
bees
need the
aren't
bees.
that hard to kill.
We need bees. Yeah,
I guess you could have. I hope there's a beekeeper involved in the story.
Does Swarm produce honey? Does the villain produce honey?
Wow!
He needs the pollinator flower or whatever the fuck they do. Like,
Exactly.
I don't remember what bees do exactly, but something to do with flowers, and pollination.
So yeah, that's coming next month, and like I said, Lilith and I already recorded next episode. So yes, next episode you will get you won't see or hear him, but Ray will drop into the chat room next episode. So
I had a comment which I wasn't going to say because of political correctness, but I'll say anyway. Does anything?
Yes, because you're so politically correct, Dave. Yes.
Does anyone pollinate MJ? I'm just wondering. Like,
wow.
Well,
she's already pregnant. I mean, that's
she is pregnant. That's true. Give her a bit of nectar. Pretty happy with myself right now. Anyway, that's all I had to say. I didn't really have anything else to add.
He's so happy he's about to make his own nectar. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. So yes, kids. So send us your thoughts. Hey, send us your questions for these guys. You know they have opinions, especially Dave. He has opinions. So yeah,
ask me a question. I dare you to ask me a question.
I won't even limit it to Spider-Man. If you have any comics questions for Dave, send them
live questions.
Or send them
live. I'm happy to do live questions. Normally I charge. Ray knows. Normally my Patreon scheme I do charge, but I will answer some questions for free. I do give marriage advice. I often say nothing you can't walk away from in 30 seconds flat, straight out of it. But that's just a taste.
Dave said spice up your marriage, wear that beekeeper suit, get that nectar.
If you need to bring someone else in, bring someone else in, take someone else out. Like it's a rotating buffet, really.
It's a buffet.
Yeah, I don't know what to say, but I'm looking forward to the questions.
Yeah. Send them in. I want to hear them.
Yeah, that's it.
Relationship advice, dear Dave. All right, so kids, send your questions in. I'll do a Dear Dave segment.
Yeah, that's right. Awesome.
All right, so yes, you can send those questions to CapesandLunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPE. So yes, you can send audio feedback too. I can play it right for him right here. So yeah, send in your thoughts. Follow Ultimate Spider-Cast on Facebook, on Twitter. Follow the YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. You people did accomplish your first mission. You got Lilith Hellfire. We got to 269 subscribers on YouTube, and we're past it already. So
congratulations.
Now Lilith Man 369. So yes, kids, go.
The demand never ends.
Yes, with her. Yes.
Right.
So smash that subscribe button.
Smash it.
And of course, yes, the Patreon. Yes, once again, you get early access to creator interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats. That man is pure genius.
I got the good mic out for you guys.
Oh my god, that's our next scheme. When Lilith comes up here for my birthday, hopefully there's a convention going on here.
Oh.
Because I already gave Chichester the info. I said you should contact them, see if you could appear. So
nice.
How would be the master plan is like if Lilith shows up and then we go meet Chichester in person.
That'd be cool. Live show. A live show with DJ.
Man, I want a live Chichester chats.
That'd be great. Awesome. Yeah, it's great how you get him on monthly. It's really good.
Oh yeah,
he's great. He's a good writer.
He's not sick of us yet. Yeah, no.
Excellent writer. Yeah, no, definitely.
Oh no, the greatest compliment I got is like when we were scheduling the one month. I said he said to me, he's like, yeah, I wasn't sure about your little experiment when we started. He's like, yeah, I'm really enjoying myself.
Nice.
And
that's good. That's good feedback.
Yeah.
I almost have Chuck Dixon on monthly. He comes on
nice.
regularly. He's got a new Conan novel coming out shortly, and we're going to have him on. But it's fun. It's always a lot of fun to have returning guests. I find, don't you find, Phil?
Oh yeah, I love when I get to talk to some of these people more than once. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, you know who I've got coming on? Can I just hype? I've got Roy Thomas coming on in the middle of February. He's coming on to do. Yeah, he's coming on, and we're really looking forward to it. Actually, mid-February we've got Roy Thomas coming on, so that'll be fun.
And I saw Ray had Jed McKay not too long ago.
Yeah. He's returning. He comes every so often. We had him recently, but we're doing like after every arc now. He's pretty keen to jump on. So yeah, it's fun to have Jed on. Yeah.
And Marvel, I know, like when we talk to him, he so badly wants to do an Alpha Flight book. Let him do an Alpha Flight book, Marvel.
Yes, please.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, he's a Canadian.
He's
he loves
a Canadian.
He loves Alpha Flight. Let him do it.
Yeah,
and it's not like they don't put out plenty of other shitty characters and books. Like no, I mean, Alpha Flight's what I would consider a mid to lower tier team, but so many characters that aren't big names.
But
get
see,
series.
but Dave, this is the strength. This is what DC aren't doing because they rely on like 3 characters to prop up their whole universe. Marvel gives everyone a chance, which is great.
Batman.
If only they hide.
Favorite character.
Oh look, I won't even say, but like, yeah, I agree. Yes, and often the lower to mid tier characters and teams give you so much more storytelling potential when you come on.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, I mean, the lesser known they are, the more they'll let you play with them.
Yep, exactly.
100%.
And again, he has the group best platform because what is it, Ray, when he's getting the new Avengers book? I mean, spin it on the Avengers run.
He's been rewarded and good on. Like a huge congrats to Jed as well. He's going to become Dave. He's going to become the Avengers writer. So
that's great. Excellent.
Yeah.
And then he was doing that run of Strange with Clea as the sorcerer.
And
that was hot. That was great.
Yeah, and he's now doing Doctor Strange. That's going to come out. So he's got some huge titles on there. You know, of course, the biggest one, Moon Knight.
Yeah, what was that? It just ended, Dave. There was a 10-issue run he did. It's just called Strange, and it's Clea as the sorcerer.
Very good run. Very good. And Death of Doctor Strange. He did that as well.
The art is great. You know.
Yeah.
I'd find that pretty interesting because I do. She's a cool character.
I'm sure you'd like it.
With the art, she does look good, Dave. So yes, there's stuff.
No, I've always enjoyed Clea's.
Pique your interest, I'm sure.
Yeah. So what? It's a run where she's the.
She's
supposedly Stephen Strange is dead. Yeah, she's the new Sorcerer Supreme. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool. That's excellent, and all power to him. And he's on the Avengers title, which can only get better. Like my God.
Oh yeah. Please.
Oh my God, I know they've been dragging that thing out for years.
Oh, it's just lost total interest. Anyway.
All right, so subscribe to our Patreon, merchandise, find it all at Linktree, linktr.ee/CapesandLunatics. All right, he's already told you all about it, but hey, Dave, what's going on with Signal of Doom? It's hot, it's fresh. What's going on?
It's hot, it's fresh. It comes out weekly. Me and Rich delivering the news of the day on comic book movies and TV shows and pop culture and Frank Sinatra and Bob Dylan, and it's just live. It's uncensored. It's unfiltered. I'm no longer filtering myself anymore. I used to filter. I don't filter anymore.
Oh,
I'm
must
calling
have missed that 5 minutes.
Yeah. When was that?
No. I went through a phase where I was like, I've got to keep it all PC. I threw that away. I threw that away a while ago.
Threw that handbook away.
I threw that handbook away, and everyone's a lot happier. I went on a big rant last show about this guy, and you listened to the show, who got all this free stuff and all this fucking merch from Rockstar Games. Went on a big rant. I want some free merch. I want some free stuff
for sure.
Ubisoft. I'm like, if you need someone to shill, I will shill, but you got to pay me. You got to, it can be in the form of cash. It can be in the form of product, something. Give, and then I will give back. Listen to Signal. It's like 6:30 a.m. here. We've been recording for 12 hours. I'm excited to be here, and thank you for having me again, Phil. Always
a pleasure. It's always a great
time.
Fun.
On
Salty and Petty, Lilith and I were saying we want a new sponsor because I ran the ad just popped up on my Facebook the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, you can look this up. It's a real thing. It's on Amazon, kids. It's soap shaped in like a donut, like a round with a hole in it.
Yeah.
It's called weenie soap.
Oh wow!
It's for your members, men. Yes.
Wow.
Love it.
You're gonna have to need a pretty big hole then, eh? So.
Good work, Ray. Strong work, Ray.
That's dangle the carrot.
All right, big girthy Ray. Where can people find you on Into the Night? And yes,
look, best just check me out on
on Tinder,
at Ray at Ray Pod, REY Pod. Happy to chat, of course, similar to Dave. Happy to chat comics. So they're on Twitter, and Facebook as well. And you can find all the details of all the other shows as well. So.
But hey Dave, if you're not listening to Salty and Petties, you need to listen because it's me and Lil talking about stuff other than comics.
I'll check it out, man.
It's a lot of fun.
I'm gonna listen to it. I'll put it in my rotation because you guys are hilarious.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Where's my music? Here we go. Again, thank you for joining us. So next week, Lilith and I cover Marvel Team Up 59 and 60 with Yellow Jacket and the Wasp, and Ray makes a cameo in the chat room at the end of the episode. Then in 1 month, Swarm, as he always cracked up to be. I guess we'll see. But until then, swing on back. What the?